Three, two, one, and we're live. Yeah. Uh, hello everybody. Welcome to another episode of the First Division podcast. My name is Steve, and I am here with my main man, Drew. What's going on, man?
Nothing, man. How you doing?
Pretty good. I know we were talking about on Thursday a little bit about uh, the the Trump. He made a national what is it, news conference to the nation, and I thought today would be like an interesting conversation to have because we were talking about a little bit off air before uh, about eating right, taking care of your body, uh, eating the right foods, selecting the right foods, and uh, being connected to like life and making sure that if you take care of your body, you'll be able to, get through certain types of diseases, kind of uh, prevent kind of diseases. And so, what I wanted to start with is uh, there's this book that I've been reading, right? And it's called I received it and I found it in my book collection, and it's called Walk Quietly, The Beautiful Trail, Lyrics and Legends of the American Indian. And I want to read a little bit from it, just the kind of two paragraphs from it. And
Okay.
uh, this was written by the chief of the Oglala Sioux tribe, and I think he was the chief between 1905 and 1939, and his name was Standing Bear. And this part of this excerpt is called The Living Spirit of the Indian. And the reason why I want to read this is because it's relevant to kind of our discussion that we're going to start with. And I'll start from the second paragraph. So it says, the American Indian is of the soil, whether it be the region of forests, plains, pueblos, or mesas. He fits into the landscape, for the hand that fashioned the continent also fashioned the man for his surroundings. He once grew as naturally as wild sunflowers. He belongs just as the buffalo belonged. With a physique that fitted, the man developed fitting skills, crafts which today are called American. And the body had a soul, also formed and molded by the same master hand of harmony. Out of the Indian approach to existence, there came a great freedom, an intense and absorbing love for nature, a respect for life, enriching faith in a supreme power, and principles of truth, honesty, generosity, equity, and brotherhood. And the reason why I found that fascinating is because, like, when you sent me those videos to watch about Dr. Sebi, he was talking about how uh, in one of the videos he was talking about how humans before didn't have to choose what they ate because the earth gave humans the exact amount of food and the exact or the precise foods that humans needed to eat at that time. And I think that he made a good point. I kind of so that's why I read this part of this book, because I think what he made when I read that, when I watched that video, I think it made sense.
As far as what Dr. Sebi said,
Yeah, exactly. Like how,
yeah, that does make sense.
yeah, because he said, like, for example, before the earth provided food, the earth provided shelter, the earth provided everything that humans needed, and now uh humans or people kind of go away from that with eating. For example, he was talking about starches, he was talking about yeast, he was talking about fast food, and he said those are foods that mother nature or the earth doesn't provide for people. I thought it was kind of interesting.
Yeah, that's true. But he also said meat too.
No, he said meat too, but because there were animals that were like living at that time, right? I'm assuming, rather than
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
cows and pigs that are full of antibiotics. I thought that was an interesting. That video was interesting. I found that video interesting for sure.
That would. I wish you would have watched the other ones that are longer. Then you would have got a lot more information too. That's just like the beginning of it. There's so much information. It's crazy. But I was reading up like how people have heart attacks or whatever.
Yeah,
And the main thing is mucus. That's why the mucus clogs your arteries, but the blood flows the mucus through your arteries. That's the way it clogs. So then and that's when people have a heart attack. The blood flows the mucus and then clogs your main artery, and you have a heart attack. Fucking crazy.
yeah. That was like the other video that I saw that Dr. Sebi was talking about how mucus kind of is like a harborer of diseases.
Which makes sense because the better stricter I got on my diet, and then I would have something like that, I would get mucus right away. And then
Yeah,
when I
like
don't eat that shit, I don't have that.
so. For example, when you're eating what types of foods that you don't get this mucus, for example.
Just say plant-based foods in general. If you want to be like super specific
Yeah,
and super detailed, it'd be the bioelectric diet, or it's not diet, it's bioelectric cell food, but that's it. That's like the list that he has with like all the fruits and the seeds and the oils and the ancient grains and
and for example, if for anybody listening, what are kind of bioelectric foods? What are some examples of that?
so pretty. I guess it revitalizes your cells, so it pretty much gives your body the chance to heal. That's what it does. That's the main explanation of it all. Is it'll you're supposed to fast, and in the fasting you take water and you take these herbs, and these herbs like I shouldn't say like these herbs they alkalize your body. Alkalize your body. They pretty much detox your body and clean your body out, give you all the nutrients and minerals that you need. So that way you can heal yourself. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, I can understand. Yeah, for sure. Let's take a step back. For example, who
Okay.
is Dr. Sebi?
I guess he's a guy. He's from Honduras, and then he was sick. He was sick. So he started out. He went to New Orleans, became an engineer, and he got hired in LA. And he was working as I think on a steamboat or something or whatever. And then that's when I found out. I didn't hear this recently. I guess you have to keep the pH of the water, so the reservoir or something. I'm not. I don't. I only saw it one time, so I didn't get everything. But you have to keep the pH in boat running or something. So then he put that concept into the body. If you kept a pH or if you had a higher pH of foods, then you could heal the body. And then he ended up he got sick, but he got this idea after he got sick in LA and some Mexican. So he sent him some Mexican guy, told him don't eat for 90 days. After 90 days, all his impotent, his blindness, he didn't have to wear glasses anymore. Everything, diabetes, everything went away. So then he went on a mission to heal and started doing that. And he had his first wife, Mrs. Ma, his first wife, and they traveled all over the world and got herbs, and then they tested them. They got them tested at the laboratory. That's how they beat the case Supreme Court. They got them tested at this lab in Lancaster, which I called, and they verified it. It wasn't herbs that he was prescribing. I mean, it wasn't pharmaceutical stuff he was prescribing. So to be licensed because they prescribe a drug. If you don't have any food, then you don't have to have a license. Had the sample, so that's what he was doing. They tested the herbs and it ended up turning out to be food. So that's how he beat his cases and curing all those people. So it makes sense.
So when he was, so was he practicing medicine at that time, or how come? How did it end up that he ended up in court, or what were the charges against him that why he had to go to court?
because he put in the newspaper that he could cure all diseases, and then so people were saying that he was a quack, but he didn't have the name Dr. Sebi. People came up, or Sebi, people came up with that name. That's what they were saying. He was
Because
just Alfredo Bowman. I think that's what his name was.
yeah, his name is Alfredo Bowman, right? Yeah.
Right.
So how did he?
So that's what they were saying.
So he put in a newspaper that he said that he could cure all diseases by prescribing the way you should eat. So he was prescribing a type of diet, or was he prescribing a way of life, or?
Yeah. He was just trying to change your life as far as like heal yourself and trying to put you up on game as far as what the real foods were, and you've been lied to and you're eating shit that makes you sick. You know what I'm saying? And it makes sense. So like he was just trying to push that. That's really what he was. But he figured out that you could heal yourself. Like on all these diseases and everything was that they've been telling you, like he just said, like these doctors haven't cured anything. They always look inside the box. I look outside the box. That's why I was able to cure stuff. You see what I'm saying? And he said, I'm not curing stuff. I'm just helping people heal themselves. That's what he's doing. He's like, it's like a jump start, you know?
Yeah, that's the kind of vibe that I saw when he like when I was watching those videos. It was like he wasn't really saying how to do it. He was kind of guiding you through the process, that he sees the world in a different perspective, and he was talking about different types of ways that you can heal your body without actually prescribing how to do it. He was just showing you certain steps.
Well, and then also like he also makes like the Bible and stuff. Like he's not a religious guy. And all. He used to be a Seventh Adventist, and he was like, if I was Seventh Adventist still, I'd be eating tofu. I'd be sick. Like I'm not. He was by the Bible, but that's where he got a lot of his stuff too. Like look, the marijuana plants in here, and then herbs that grow naturally, and then stuff that's given to us on the planet is what we're supposed to eat. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that. So, and then he said like pastor preaches all these good words for years, and then he goes and gets a chemical before he dies. See what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's why
that doesn't make sense.
No, definitely not. That's why I was going back to this, which is what was kind of profound to me, what he said, that Dr. Sebi was it really correlates to what the chief of the Sioux wrote in his book, in those 2 paragraphs, that like the Indians were provided with things, and like everything, that they were connected to nature and connected to the earth, and the things that they were eating and taking care of their bodies was kind of natural without having to kind of rely, and they were surviving for lots of years without having to be prescribed with medication, or eating fatty foods, or drinking things with fructose and things like that. It seems like, what for me, when I was watching the videos, those 2 videos, I apologize that I didn't have a chance to watch the other one, but it seems like it was like common sense what he was trying to say. It wasn't anything profound.
But you would never think about it though, because you've been taught so much. So it would go against what he says, you know what I mean? It's like, why would I listen to this guy? I went to school for this.
Right, exactly. Especially, and that's what he mentioned in one of his videos. He was talking about how, like, I think it's the American Medical Association, the AMA. He was saying, like, they are the kind of the benchmark of medicine in the Western world, and if you go against it, then, like you said, that you'll be considered a quack, or considered somebody who's not going along with the narrative of the AMA.
Normal. Yeah, or the norm.
Yeah, the norm. Yeah, exactly. And I don't think it was even, what he was saying was anything crazy or anything like so out there, I think he was just talking.
Well, he was human too, though. It's crazy because Left Eye Lisa Lopez. Remember
Yeah, yeah.
group, the three groups. He had like a bunch of
Yes.
problems and stuff. Well, she ended up going to him and then staying and doing a fast for like 40 days. And she came into his room in the middle of the night and she like woke him up and told she's like you gotta stop preaching to people and then doing things that are against like the commandments. And then he's like, I knew she knew what she saw something in the fast or something or saw something and she knew like, so I couldn't lie. So I guess he ate fish once in a while and still gouda cheese and a couple other things.
So what does it mean? What did he mean by like fasting? Like completely not eating for a certain amount of time, or only eating like restricted?
No, this is the thing. Well, everybody fasts kind of different, but he would fast with just water and then the herbs, because the herbs are when you fast, it gives your digestive system a break. Because think about it, you're every day, fucking three times a day for your whole life. You're never giving your digestive system a break. And especially if you eat shit, it's not getting out of you. You're just feeding it more and more stuff. So it's always getting clogged up or never really getting out of you. So when you fast, you give your body a chance to rejuvenate new cells, which they've scientifically proven. You live 30% longer. And then when you take the herbs, you get like I said, you get the minerals. You're not even hungry, dude. I've done it before. You're not even hungry because the herbs flush you out. You'll shit like 3 or 4 times a day because it's flushing you out of all the shit that you have kept in there that you never got out. It's crazy, dude.
So how long have you what is the longest?
I think the most I did was fasted. But I'm going to do it again. I never had the opportunity because I was playing a sport or doing something. You can't fast, dude. You'll get hurt. You know what I'm saying? You won't have any energy. You have to do it when you like you didn't work and shit like that. You have to do it like I can now. I just walk the dogs and stuff, so I could do it. I could do like a week or 2. But I want the herbs though, so I'm not hungry. Because I'm not. If you just fast without it, then that's when like stuff really could come to the surface. You can get like boils and stuff real quick. You could do it wrong. You have to have stuff. Some people fast with water and just fruit. Then they go to the herbs. So they have something. It just depends. But I'm telling you, dude, you fast, you'll go to the bathroom, you'll trip out, dude. And then, like I was gonna say, I felt weird at one point on like the 3rd day because I was still going to the bathroom. But on the 3rd day, I got like sick, dude, and like I almost passed out. And then I had to go to the bathroom. I went to the bathroom, and it was like instant relief. It must have been something that was making me fucking feel weird, dude, or been stuck up a toxin for sure. And once it got out of me, I felt better. And I felt the most calmness and most relaxed, not worried about anything ever in doing that. It was insane. And it wasn't all the you fucking weird shit, you know, or making you act weird. That shit makes you act weird and you don't even know, you know?
Yeah, so what kind of herbs, like specifically, were you kind of eating during the fasting?
I have the sea moss and the bladderwrack because those are the 92 of 102 minerals, and then you want the iron is the main thing because iron phosphate, not iron pills you buy at the store. It's iron phosphate from like 14 different plants that they make like this. It's a bitter liquid, but I'll down. And then like recently, I just found out. He cured a lot of people with just those 2, and I didn't see this so recently. So when you get the bottle, I never got the original one. I got the one from the LA store. It still works, but it's not the original. I'm gonna actually order it when we get off of this. I'm gonna order the original from the New York store.
Yeah,
traveled the world with. She has a store and stuff, but that's on the documents of who they cured. You know, that's the recipes they were using. So I'm gonna order it from her because there was a bunch of fucking people saying that they were it, blah, 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 and a bunch of people branched off. But besides the point, so you take the sea moss and the bladderwrack, and then you take the iron phosphate, which is that liquid, and then they have in that the iron phosphate, I think it's like yellow dog, burdock root, like stuff that cleans the blood. But then you got to get stuff that like cleans the colon and stuff like that, because that's what they were explaining. Certain diseases hide in certain areas or in certain areas. Like they would clean the colon for, I don't remember, dude, cancer or something. You know what I mean? Just didn't mean it was in the colon. You know what I mean? It could have been somewhere else, and then it was coming out the colon or something. You see what I'm saying? They
Sure.
said they had a
Yeah.
story where instead of, see, this is what surgery is a quick fix, but it doesn't remove it because you're not removing the root of the problem. It'll come back. So with these herbs and stuff, it kills it and gets it out. Some people were pooping it out, and one lady had it come out through her nose. It was insane.
Yeah, he was describing something like that. He was describing a situation where she had like a cyst or a tumor, and it kind of by his system, not his system, but the system that she was on, it came out through her nose, and then she was cured from it. That was
yeah. And then he talked about a kid that was born with HIV. He was born with HIV, and he cured that in like 7 days.
Wow.
He's helped a lot of people. Steven Seagal, Michael Jackson. There's even Magic Johnson came to him. That's why he doesn't have HIV, which would maybe make sense. But Steven Seagal had a headache for 5 years, and I guess Dr. Sebi cured it in 10 minutes. And then come talk to the Dalai Lamas. He's like, why do I need to come talk to the Dalai Lamas? He's like, they need to come talk to me.
Yeah. But
I don't know. It's kind of funny.
So what is he? Was he like a celebrity doctor, or he became celebrity, or how did he get involved with
just
talking to
people?
Yeah.
People heard him and the word traveled, on the low. It's not something you would put on the news and all that. Take all those corporations out of business and put a lot of people out of jobs and stuff. So on the low, people are coming to him, especially rich people. They hear about people like that, especially if they're sick. They're looking for everything possible. So if someone's curing people, they're going to hear about it. You know what I mean? If you're looking for it.
Especially if you've got money, then you're going to, money talks, right?
But he didn't care about money. He never had money. When he died, like he was traveling to, I forgot, another country. And then they ended up, they explained that his wife and his daughter are the ones that used to do the paperwork for when you go to say you have so much money. And they weren't doing it anymore. It was some other people in charge of the office, and they didn't do it. So he ended up going to jail. He had like 37 banks and all that. So he carried like his life savings with him, and his other wife at the time, who he was married to, was saying that was so they could fix up the Usha village and stuff, which is a place that they have where you can go heal, whatever. So he goes to jail, and then I found out the real story recently too, which is cool. Well, it's not cool, but he went to jail and poisoned him. He was already fasting for 2 weeks, and he wouldn't eat any of the food in jail. So I don't know what happened. Either someone tried to kill him or poison him or something. Him out. And then when the paper finally got through, he died.
That's pretty crazy. And I mean, why would they?
And if you're healthy and then you go into a bad environment and you don't have your plants and your stuff, you're gonna get sick. You know what I mean? It's impossible. If you have the stuff to stay in an environment, you're not gonna get sick. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. It's because he was taken out of his kind of
environment.
Environment. Yeah, exactly. I mean, of course you're gonna get sick. I mean, you plus it's stressful, right? I mean, if you go to prison or to jail, you're gonna be. It's already put unfair stress on your body anyway, because it's a new environment and you're not used to the regime.
Crazy, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But it's crazy because his wife knows the original formula, and actually Dr. Sebi is not even come to find out. I guess he was just a voice. He really learned from Ma, which is his first wife, and who has a store and she's the one he learned from, dude. So he was just the voice. She was more in the background teaching him and making the herbs and stuff for people. Crazy. And she's still around.
Does she go? Does she go on interviews and stuff, or?
Yeah, she does. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. Oh, that'd be sick. What if you tried to get her on an interview?
That would be sick to get her on the podcast. That would be sick.
Today, I called and talked to him today. I don't think I'll be able to work with them it's mostly African American people. I don't think that has anything to do with it, but I heard something recently because I called him to ask. I heard something recently where this guy was saying that that you should eat foods like grew up closer to or originated closer to. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So like if you, but that's not true. I called and asked, and they said that's not true because electric foods work for everybody, and that why that wouldn't make sense. One culture, it's stupid,
Well, what,
and it's been
yeah, that's
working for me. So I don't know what the fuck they're
that's.
talking about.
I think because I think it doesn't make sense to differentiate between, for example, like Africans or Europeans. I think it doesn't really matter as long as the food works for people. I think it would be fine. But no, I was going to ask because he was talking in some of his videos that he was talking, which I couldn't understand him because see, here's the thing. I watched the video. I think the video was from 1980, so the quality was not good, which doesn't matter that it wasn't good, but I couldn't hear the audio so well. So if you can kind of it kind of help me through if I didn't understand the video properly, is that he was talking about uh how I think it was iron or iron phosphate, uh how you should eat foods that are rich in that because it attracts more minerals into you. Because if you lose minerals, then you're going to be unhealthy. If I think
Yeah.
if you eat,
Yes.
if
No. Yeah. That's exactly.
yeah,
I can read something actually explains that perfectly if you want.
yeah, read it. Yeah, if you uh, please do.
Give me 1 second.
Yeah,
It's
no
funny that
problem.
you brought that up.
Because I think that's what he was talking about, and so look that up, and I'd be curious to hear that. And then this after that, the second question that I have for that is he was also talking about he was talking about yeast. He was talking about yeast, how that is like the bed of disease after that. But yeah, so but first I would like to know what he was talking about with that iron phosphate with the minerals because I think that's
I
the
thought I
first time
saved it.
because I think that's a good base because
For some reason it's not here.
what else was
I
it?
have to look it up. That's weird.
Awesome. Yeah, afterward. So yeah,
Huh?
is there something that is like a PDF file or
No, hold on. I'm gonna find it in a second.
yeah, no, don't worry. There's no problem. So I'm just looking up stuff about him. I mean, because I mean, this guy's really interesting. His life is really interesting.
It is weird,
And
dude. It
he's been
like disappeared.
what is it called? Maybe I can help you.
It's just iron. Type in Dr. Sebe iron phosphate.
In Google?
Sure. It should
Okay.
explain it. How can I not find that, dude? I just had that. And I posted it.
Is it what is the
It just explains it.
is there a specific website we should be looking for?
For the picture.
The picture.
Dude, that's
You're looking it up on like Google Images or?
yeah, but I took it off somebody's like something they posted on their IG or whatever. Find it. And I thought I took a screenshot of it. That's how I had to. Oh, I think I might know where it's at.
on IG.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. So
What I like about him is that he looks at the world in a different way.
he
And
does,
I
huh?
think, yeah, and I think a lot of people kind of look at the world at one way or get used to looking at the world a certain way, and there's no room for them or for people to kind of understand what he's coming from.
Man, I can't believe I could explain it perfectly.
And he was also talking about, because we're electric beings, you should eat foods that are electric, because electric like matches with electric, which that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense, to be honest. And what he was talking
That
about,
makes big time sense.
that makes big time sense for sure. You should eat foods that are natural to your like body. I mean, if you're an alien, right, and all you eat, like if you live on Mars and all you eat is Mars rock, right, and you came to Earth, you would probably want to eat stuff that is close, or if not the same as what is on Mars, right? You wouldn't want to eat stuff from Earth. You would
Something
want to eat stuff
that's
that makes stuff for, yeah. What have you
uh,
got? No, what have you got, man?
it says iron has 12,000 electrons per atom. Iron is the only magnetic and complete mineral, oxygen, hydrogen, carbon on the planet, being that it has a tendency to pull other minerals with it. So when you take iron, you're taking all other minerals in proportion. Also, iron has a high amount of oxygen. It is the one mineral humanity all over the world are lacking.
Nice. Yeah. Where did you get that information from? What is the website you got that from?
It's just on IG. That it's on IG, but it's
Oh, I see. Yeah. Nice. Very nice.
organic alkaline family.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
That's crazy, huh?
That's crazy. But that makes sense because iron is magnetic and the earth is made of iron. There's iron on the earth, and you want to have minerals inside you. That makes sense. A lot of sense. But
People are
where do
weird.
you where do you buy all of these, or where can you have access, or where can you purchase all of these types of herbs or foods, or what, like sea moss, for example? Where do you get that? How can you get that for people who are listening or potential listeners? How can you get access to some of
So
these?
you can get it from them, but if you want to go the cheaper route, because you don't want to spend like $30 every time to buy a thing that lasts you a month, you can go. Oh, I always I'll think, where is it from? Like, where is the most like where's it from? Honduras or whatever. Then I'll go to that source and I'll go on like Etsy or eBay or find like a website of a seller that sells it, and then I'll just get it from them. That's how I'll usually do it.
So you can just go online and find like buyers of
They
it.
all, yeah, and then yeah, they don't list the ingredients on the website for the fig tree one, but if you order the stuff, I think it's like yellow duck root and like a bunch of other stuff, dude. Like so much stuff. I forgot I used to be all on top of that, like Nepal. What else is there? There's sarsaparilla, um, the sea moss, bladderwhack. Dude, there's so many. But there's
What is
like
it?
10 that are
Bla- Bladderwhack?
yeah, sea moss and bladderwhack is what you want to take if you want pretty much all
How,
your
how do you
minerals.
spell, how do you spell that?
Which one?
Bladderwhack. Bladderwhack.
BLADDERWHACK.
WA. Oh, I see. Hold on. Bladder rack, you mean?
Yeah, bladderwhack.
Yeah, bladder rack. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, it's coming across on the on the microphone as something else. Yeah, bladderwrack. Yeah, I see it.
Okay.
Let's see. Let's look at it. I know Wikipedia is not the best, but let's look at the Wikipedia. So let's see. Bladderwrack. It's so it's basically seaweed. It's a type of seaweed.
Yes.
Yeah, so it was the original source of iodine. Wow, I didn't know that. Discovered in 1811 and was used extensively to treat goiter, a swelling of the thyroid gland, and related to iodine deficiency. Oh,
Crazy, huh?
yeah. Wow, nice. Where do you get that though?
Which one? The
Bladderwrack.
bladder?
Yeah.
You can get
You
it
buy
anywhere. I'm telling you. Over there, I
Really?
don't know where. Over here, you can buy it. You can buy it at one store. But that's what I'm saying. I don't try America. It's so processed and like who knows what's in it. That's why I'd rather get it from someone that like grows it and makes it into the powder or something. You know?
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. So here it goes. Consumption. It's sold as bladderwrack is usually sold as a nutritional supplement.
It's crazy, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But see, I don't know. It sounds pretty interesting. I might. Why not? I mean, the only thing.
Feel good. You'll feel good.
Yeah, exactly. The only thing that could happen is if that you'll only make me feel better.
That's the only thing.
Yeah, exactly. So let me see.
You should do that. You should do that, and then we could talk about it one time.
Yeah, because again, like I'm saying, so like we know everybody has different interests, so you know more stuff about this, you know more about this topic than I do. So, I'm completely ignorant. So,
You're not ignorant. You just like you said, you're more up to date on other stuff. That's all it is.
it looks like it's like edible seaweed, to be honest. It doesn't look that bad. Not that bad.
Yeah, it is.
Don't mean it that way. Yeah.
No, it's crazy.
But you eat it as a powder or as like a pill, or not pill, but like a
you like I have it in pill form that I bought off like Etsy and stuff before. I have a 2-pound bag coming from Honduras soon.
Yeah.
I ordered it. What I do is I'll just in the pills. What's in the pills? I'll break up the pills. Like I'll just open the pills and then pour it in my mouth and drink it with water. That shit sticks like a motherfucker, dude. That algae, that stuff when it gets wet, it sticks, dude, to like your mouth and everything. So I just try to swallow all of it real quick. It's not that bad. Or want to be like having it rubbed around in my mouth and everything and stuck to my teeth and grind it, like getting it off. It's crazy.
Yeah, you don't want to be like stuck like you're living in the Pacific Ocean or anything like that.
No. Heck no.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty interesting. All these things. I mean, and for example, what is it supposed to help with?
Moss?
Yeah.
I guess that's like your main 92 of 102 minerals. If I'm putting it together right, from what I know, then you would take that. That's why it says take the iron, because then you absorb all of it.
From
the other ones like yeah, and then the other ones are like to detoxify you and all that.
Nice, very nice.
Makes sense.
It makes sense.
Like they clean your blood, like do certain things, clean your blood, do things like that. I never thought of that before. Oh, that makes sense then. That's why you take your sea moss and your bladderwrack every day, so you get your minerals, and then if you can, you load up on the phosphate on that like for that 10-day thing, like you said, you drink a bottle a day, then you load up, and then after that, then it's just 2 day, and then you'll be solid, dude. And then the other
Is
stuff
it
you can do once in a while, detoxing, cleaning yourself out. Because they did a study, like, sorry, I just want to tell you, they did a study where, like, or someone that was a vegan their whole life, and then they showed someone that was they fasted, and the difference was night and day, dude. The other guy had no wrinkles, nothing, looked so much younger, and the other guy, he looked better than a person at that age, like normally, but he still was kind of sick. And recently, I met some guy that has been vegan for everything, but recently they found some kind of lump on him or something where he has like something, dude. So it's like eating that tofu and the soy and all that fake shit makes you sick, you know. Still, too, that's a problem.
Well, if you're what is it? What is the difference? Like if you're a super vegan or if you're a vegan, what is it like? You can't have. You really can't
Dairy
have what is
and stuff like that.
it,
Meat,
dairy.
dairy. I don't
I
know
think
what
it's meat.
all the other stuff.
I think it's meat, dairy, and like things that come from uh like if you're having like if you have like a shampoo that has I don't know something with like a fish oil or something they can't have you can't use that shampoo because that was taken from a fish that oil or something like that. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, because I know a vegan and they can't he eats candies, but
Well, the Dule is
normally
vegan.
he's vegan, huh? Ladula is vegan.
Yeah, yeah, he's been vegan since like high school.
So, but how does he grow muscle mass, or how does he have muscles, or
Well, because the protein's not the thing; it's the carbohydrates. You should watch a documentary called "Explain All That" too. Besides Dr. Sebi, they talk about if you. I was telling you, if you eat meat all the time, your blood's cloudy. If you eat plant-based, they do blood tests and show you. And what else? I don't know. What were you asking? Sorry.
no,
But they
I'm saying how.
and like and you don't need protein, more about the carbohydrates, and if you eat good carbohydrates you're not going to get fat or anything, and then you'll have more energy, and we're so you're not supposed to be eating that other shit and just sitting all the time and getting sick anyways, so it just makes sense. That's what people don't realize.
Yeah, so how did he get all that like muscle that how did he get bigger if he was like vegan? What specific foods did he eat, or
Just like regular pastas and tofu, and he just doesn't eat cheese and stuff like that. If he got a burrito, he'd get a bean and rice burrito. What else? But you know what I mean? Just stuff like that. No sushi, nothing like that. Just pretty much cooked at
so he
home all
did
the time. Kept it pretty basic.
so he didn't eat sushi.
No, he did not. No
Yeah.
fish or nothing like that.
So
He
even with
didn't eat it at
vegans,
all.
you couldn't have anything to do with fish either.
No.
I think that's the difference between vegetarian and veganism, I think.
What, that vegans will eat fish?
Yeah, I think so. No, I think vegetarians will eat fish. I think so. I think they'll eat everything. They'll exclude everything, but I think they'll eat fish a little bit. I think. I'm not sure. I don't want to, any of you who are vegans or vegetarians listening out there, I don't want to piss you off. I mean, if you have more insight, you can let me know. And I think I don't, and I think I think because it gets so confusing for me. I think because like vegetarianism, veganism, paleo diet, keto diet, you know, I get confused between those four types of diets.
What? I don't even label it a diet. I would just say I just don't eat.
Yeah, so
You know what
you
I'm
you
saying?
don't even.
I'm not.
Yeah, Yeah, you just say like, "Hey, I don't eat meat," and that's it.
It's just like I'm not gonna label myself as something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're just living your life and say, "Hey,
So
like
I would say I would guess sure that's cool.
plant-based." Yeah, so for example, if you're having like a plant-based diet, what is a plant-based diet? I don't know. I don't know what it is.
A plant-based diet,
Yeah.
just say plants, no fake stuff. Vegan is like you can have fake cheese and stuff. And if you look on the back, it's like made up of like all these weird names and stuff. You won't get that out of like plants. You make it from like hemp seed, sea salt, and some olive oil or something. You know what I'm saying? Just simple
Yeah.
ingredients that are made from plants.
Yeah, so basically what you're saying is like you'll have like you'll be eating natural foods and fruits and vegetables without the extra like additives or
Exactly.
yeah, very nice. Very
Exactly.
nice.
The true source, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So like for example, how do you for example, how did you get into like a plant-based diet and how do you if for somebody who's starting out, how do you get into a plant-based diet and how do you know that you are in a plant-based diet? I know that's like three questions in one, but
Well, how did I get into it? I got
yeah.
into it, dude. I just do you want me to be honest, man? Like all the years of playing
Yeah.
soccer, which I ran, I always had like somewhat like male boobs, dude. No matter what I did, no matter what I worked out, and what maybe I did, maybe no one else thought that, but I did. Like I didn't, I don't know, dude. I don't know what that. So I wanted to get rid of that, and I always mess with my routines or like my trying to look for something better. And then when I found out finally about the years, like 5, 6 years ago, and started realizing like, holy shit, dude, I don't have to work out as hard or kill my body to look just as good and just be just as strong or just be like just feel better, dude. Like that's stupid. So then I just fucking kept to that. That's just I always have been wanting to learn and was interested in that and you know what I mean? Was looking always I'm good at that, dude. I network and look for things and don't give up. I look until I find it, you know? Most people don't do that, dude. Or I'll look until I find 100% the fact, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I mean, it's always good to like, it's always good to do research and kind of learn about how to improve yourself and make sure that you get into things that are
But,
beneficial for you.
but the other thing is that people are weird is all this like negative stuff and say it doesn't work or this or that, or they can debate it all day. But dude, if you haven't even tried it, so like, how the fuck are you gonna talk about it and debunk it and all this shit just by science, but you didn't even try it? How do you know you like it's I don't know. Some things you just
Yeah,
can't add up. Maybe later you'll be able to explain it, but at that moment, just try it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, dude. People are just weird. They want to like everything come up with all these excuses. That's the problem. That's why he said he doesn't read books because there's just so that it just confuses the average person. So it's like, what are you supposed to listen to when it's really not that hard? It's really simple.
yeah. I think a lot of people are, what I think is there's like a lot of people that want to get into like certain types of diets or going no, not even going into diets. I mean, I think people they don't want to take the time to actually uh, research things, or I think it's intellectually lazy. I think it's really interesting how some people can say like they can talk about certain subject, and I think it's very selfish. I think we're very as humans. I think we're very entitled naturally that we like to project that we know a lot more than we actually do. And I think going back to your point, I think people want to kind of debunk or like say like this doesn't work or I know everything and this wouldn't work. And it's like you said, I mean, if you haven't even experienced it or tried it, then how would you even know? I mean, I think it's kind of strange that some people would like make comments or have an opinion about something when they might not even be. That's what's interesting, is that we can make, myself included, is that we can make opinions, or we have opinions about topics, even though we might not even have the full information about topics. We might not even be fully educated on topics, but yet we still have an opinion. And I'm guilty of that too, having an opinion on things that I have, limited, or limited information or knowledge about. I think that's a distinctly human thing, that people that have opinions about everything, you know.
Oh, something else I learned too is you can tell when someone doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about. And I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just saying, like, if they were mean and shit, like, people act like they know what they're talking about. It's like, okay, if you know what you're talking about, then why aren't you taking care of yourself that way? You obviously don't know what you're talking about because you're not doing it. You're not fucking, especially athletes. That like, you can tell someone that's bloated, dude. Like, you should be. You gotta watch Game Changers, but you should. If you look at somebody that like has eat plants their whole life, dude, they're so ripped and in shape. They're like the perfect sculpture and shit like that, or perfect. You know what I'm saying? And then if you
Physique.
look at someone, yeah, physique. And then if you look at someone that eats meat, protein, all that, that shit catches up with you, bro. Unless you have a fast metabolism, that's not going to last forever. But when you get older, you're going to get a gut. You're going to get fucking swollen, like bigger arms, like swollen. You don't see all the muscle. You never do, anyways, when those guys are like that. They only get the muscle because they blow it out so big to get the muscle so you could see it. If you just fucking worked out normal and worked out good and ate good, you'd be ripped as shit, dude, and you'd look better, 10 times better than them, anyways.
What about those guys? What about those guys that are like those world's strongest competitions, and they pull like tractors, and they pull like trucks and things like that? I mean, those guys. When I look at those guys, they don't look overweight or obese. It looks like they have like they're strong, of course, because they're able to do the competition. But I mean, they don't. They look like average people, and it looks like their core or their structure. They To be honest, they don't look like they have a lot of muscle, but it looks like they have like dormant, strong muscles underneath that physique that they have. You know what I mean? They don't look like a typical person who who's jacked and like works out at Venice Beach and on Muscle Beach and like can lift a lot of weights, but then they pull like tractors and things. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know
No,
how they.
sure. Well, they had those. They had the strongest guy in the world is fucking on
Yeah,
plants.
and they just look like normal people, but then like you could, I mean, he looks big, or they're big, but they don't look like they have like they don't look jacked. You know what I mean? They don't look ripped. They just like normal people, and they can do all these like uh beastly maneuvers.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's very true.
I think it's amazing. I mean, humans are amazing. We're amazing. Humans are very amazing, but I I think it, I think we kind of deviated somehow.
Yeah. I'm gonna send you a funny picture. You buy your phone.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Send me a picture.
The power of the marijuana plant. I gave some THC oil to my dog.
Here we go. THC. Oh, where did I get this? Oh, here we go.
Hey, baby. It
Don't
just
bother
chills them out, dude. They don't get all.
me. I'm
Huh?
sleeping.
Dude, she picture when I took her, she had like one eye open and she was looking real funny, dude.
I
But
can see
usually
it.
she's on point, like super on point, dude. So it's like that's unnormal for
She's looking at you like, "Hey, what are you looking at, bro? Let me sleep."
her. Exactly.
That's awesome, man.
Oh,
So how much THC did you
just a little bit.
diagnose?
So
Yeah, just to calm her down.
yeah, it just puts her in the right place.
That's I like that picture, man. Hold on, let me see if I.
Right?
That's a cool picture. Let me see if I can see what I got. Let me send you. Oh, okay. So let me send you. I don't know if you. Let me see if you know this dog. So hold on. Send it. I won't say anything more. I'll just share it. I'll just send you the pic and see if you've known this dog. So here we go. Drew, boom, send, boom. So yeah, I sent it.
Let me
Boom.
see.
Uh,
Give me 1 second.
yeah. If you know this, if you've seen this dog before. And these dogs, I don't know if you've seen this dog. I think I don't know if you
Oh
know.
yeah, I've seen her.
Yeah, you've seen him. Yeah,
How or him? I'm sorry. How recent was that?
this was just a couple months ago.
How old is he now?
11. He's 11,
Oh, dang.
which is crazy. So that means 11. He was born in 2009. Man, that's so long ago, man.
That's a long time ago.
That is a long time ago. I remember when I think my sister brought him home. Romeo. And I'll send you. you
I remember Romeo.
you can delete this picture, but I'll send you two, man, so that you can cheer up. Boom, send it to you.
White panda or what?
Yeah, it's a white bear, man.
That's funny.
So if you're having a bad day, you can refer to the panda, man. Uh, dude, no, I think, for example, that I mean, whatever the, I think people kind of they get set in their ways, and then they think that whatever way they're going on is the best for them, which I understand that makes sense. And then, but they get so caught up into it, they don't even want to entertain the idea of different opinions and different way of life.
Yeah, I know. That's true. It's just hard. He went on a mission trying to heal a bunch of people and all this, and then
Yeah, exactly. I mean, when I saw that video that you
it's
sent
hard
me,
to
uh,
talk people in
and he
when they eat meat and stuff.
and he was talking about it that since that I think that video was from 1985 or something. So he was talking about it in the 80s, and you know try to get a lot of people on board, and it's not easy. I mean, especially if you grow up in a certain way.
Oh, because that's what people think that they know, and then that's it when you say stuff.
Yeah, and then they get offended that you have a different viewpoint than them, you know.
Exactly.
Because he made a good point. He said he was like he was like I just see the world differently. He even said you know, I don't know. There was a couple of the questions he was like, I don't know, I just don't know, but I do see the world a little bit differently, and that's all. You know, and he was a type of guy that was just able to, you know, look at things a little bit differently, and you know, and
Look
whether
at
you
him in
think
a different way and look outside of perspective.
yeah, do you think that he looked at the world differently because he was from Honduras and not from the US originally? Do you know what I mean? He saw like the world from a different perspective, then he went to the US and saw two different perspectives.
I don't know, man. What do you think?
I don't know, because I now that I'm here, I see the US in a different perspective.
Yeah, to that going back to what I think his wife, the first one, is the one that really put him up on game, and I think she's the one that knew all that stuff, and then he just took it and ran with it. Not like that. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, absorbed it as well and just pushed it. You know, she probably would have stayed more on the low key, and it never would have got out that big, or it would just still be a small store, and not everybody all over the world would know. He really like took it to the.
How did he become like well known? How did he become not famous, but how did people start hearing about him? Like, what was the specific things that he said that, you know,
What
how
do you
does a
mean?
person like how does a person like that, like he's from Honduras, he went to the US in the 80s, and you know, he was practicing his how to eat certain types of herbs and different types of vegetables and plants and things like that. And then all of a sudden, like Michael Jackson, Eddie Murphy, and all these guys are talking about it. And you know, I know you said it before, but I mean, how did he become like? How did people started like learning about him? You know what I mean?
Probably when he started healing the famous people. You know what I mean? And then, like I
Yeah.
said, the word travels when you start healing people. That's rare.
Yeah, that's rare. I mean, especially if you're like healing people from different ailments, right?
Exactly.
Man, I think I think, I don't know. I think that it is some different perspectives, and I think people should be. I think, I think people should be, or at least open to the idea that there's a different way of approaching life. You know.
That, that's that's the problem with everything, man. Nobody thinks outside the perspective. You know what I'm saying? Or outside the box. They're always thinking inside the box.
Yeah, which you know, it's hard to think outside the box, especially when you know. I mean, if you have like kids and you know, and you're like, you know, a wife or husband, and you know, you want to take care of your family. I mean, it's kind of, you want to not protect them, but you want to make sure that they're fine all the time. And you know, I think a lot of people think, or at that point, they just want their family to be safe quicker. And you know, I don't know if this is a quick way to heal people or not. I'm not sure. I don't know. I think when you have family and kids, I think your perspective changes, you know.
Yeah, but they were saying you can give the sea moss and stuff to kids. So
Yeah, it would. I don't think it would be harmful for kids. I think it would be fine for kids.
no, no, it's a plant.
Yeah, I know. It wouldn't be. Yeah, I mean, that's what's weird, right? That's what's weird. Like, once you start talking about plants, like eating plants and certain type of plants, people get all nervous about it, you know? It's weird.
Well, some guy was trying to tell me that the soil's depleted everywhere, so that's why it's like, dude, shut the fuck up, dude. Natural plants that have been here around growing forever, doesn't matter if the soil is depleted or not, they're gonna grow and they're gonna be a complete plant. No matter if they've been around this long, they've probably been through way more shit.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if I
It's
mean
gonna
that
be a
if
complete
you're
plant no matter what. And that soil they're getting it from is not soil that they're agriculturing from or mass producing like they do here. You know what I'm saying? Or like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, look, I mean, like, for example, right? Mushrooms you eat, they can grow almost anywhere. So, for example, like, even in the most toxic environments, there was a couple mushrooms that grew kind of close to. See, like if you go into the forest, let me give you kind of some context. Like if you go into the forest, there are certain mushrooms you can and can't eat. Uh, and one of the mushrooms that you can eat was found uh, next to a car garage where uh, there was oil and petrol and things like that. Would I eat it? No, because it's probably toxic. But uh, it goes to show you that even if it was toxic, the mushroom that you can eat can still grow there. So I think,
If it was toxic, if you ate it, that'd be a interesting thing to find out.
that would be interesting. If you actually ate it from that environment, if you would get sick from it, that would be interesting to find out. I'm not sure. That's a good question.
Just test it to test it from that environment and see if it's toxic before you eat it.
Yeah, because if you get it tested and it turns out that it's not toxic, then it would be you would be able to eat it, no problem.
Go anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't agree with that fact that if the soil is depleted, I mean the plants look, plants have been around before humans, and they will find a way to survive, especially if in an environment such as Earth. So they'll find any place to live.
Yeah. Well, this guy that was telling me he's not even in shape. He's a baseball player.
Oh, baseball player.
I was doing, you guys aren't even in shape.
all you do is all you do is run around four bases, right?
And carry a gut with bitch tits.
And hopefully you
They
hit the
don't
ball over
fucking
the
do.
fence
They
once
don't
in a
really,
while.
dude. They never really done cardio, dude. If they work out, they work out because they go to the gym every day. They're not running, dude. They've never been in really good shape. Never been in shape where you actually really have to run. You know, never.
I don't. Do you think that baseball players are? I don't think they do a lot of cardio workouts, to be honest,
Fuck no.
because they don't really need it. The way
Maybe,
the game is played. Uh,
dude. Those fools are just chilling most of the time. Like
yes.
throwing the baseball, hitting the baseball, running, stretching. Dude, baseball is a lazy American sport, dude. They're always in the dugout chilling. They're dipping, chewing gum in the dugout, one at a time up to the plate. You're chilling in the outfield, waiting for the ball. What are you doing, dude? Just hours of chilling. You're not fucking
Yeah.
an hour and a half, you know what I mean, with a 15-minute break. And it's
No.
sprinting and jogging and fucking sports like hockey or any of that stuff, dude. It's not baseball's weird.
Yeah. You know
I
what's
like
weird?
baseball. I like going to the games.
Yeah, for sure. I like going to the games too, like at the stadium, because you go there for the atmosphere, for the crowd and yelling and things like that. But I never really kind of understood the kind of the interest in the sport, because to me baseball is, I mean, it's not like martial arts or like jujitsu or or taekwondo. You're still moving your body, you're disciplining your body to, or it's not even like basketball. Basketball is almost, I know there's stoppages, but you're almost moving all the time. And baseball's so static, it's so static, and you don't even have a chance to the thing that I don't really like about baseball is that you don't have a chance to score. At least with basketball, if you steal the ball, you can go and score. Or in hockey, you steal the puck, you can go and score wherever. In football,
Yeah, you gotta wait to go up next.
yeah, exactly. You have to wait. It's a turn-based game. You know, you have to wait your turn before you're able to score. Like if the pitcher strikes you out, you don't get a point for that. You just strike him out. You know, I think that's what I don't like about. Yeah, that's what I don't like about baseball. It's so static, and you have to wait to score. You know, it's not, and it's kind of like it's similar to like tennis. Tennis, I like tennis better than baseball, but tennis is also like similar, right? Because you know, if you're serving, you have to wait till that person serves, and then you can probably make a point. But if you're in a rally in tennis, you can score at any time. So like if you make a mistake, the other person makes a point. If you are so good, then you make a point. So you can score any time except for the service, which is if you're a good server, then you'll be able to win a point. But with baseball, you don't get any points for anything, basically.
Yeah, that's true. Well, you got me on what's it called that one time. You got me on fucking on tennis when they had that big tournament and we watched it on the TV.
Yeah, remembered like I think we were watching Wimbledon or something like that.
Yeah,
Tennis is pretty legit, you know. It's a pretty good sport.
I never watched it before that. You know.
It's really physical, to be honest. I mean, not physical like you're hitting other people, but physical like the movement of the court. Like those players, men and women, they work on their short twitch muscles, you know, the twitch muscles, like
Yeah,
so that they can up and down the court really quickly.
yeah, that's what you need for fucking tennis for sure.
For sure. So like all those exercises that we did with like for example that Randy was a good personal trainer of us. I mean, he really kind of focused on those twitch muscles so that we can get that explosiveness from 0 to 60 in really like quick amount of time, you know.
Yeah, Randy was smart dude.
Yeah, he was smart. He had good training exercises. So yeah, that's so like tennis players, they really focus on those type of muscles.
Oh wow. So you
But
know
it,
more about tennis than I do.
well, I know like certain amounts of things and about tennis and things like that. I mean, I know like for example, like uh it's interesting that in every different sport you must work on different muscles or different types of movements. You know, like for
Yeah, I guess
example,
it depends on what it demands.
yeah, exactly. So like if you're playing like a soccer, for example, and then you want to go play hockey, like ice hockey, that's completely different movements. I don't think you would be able to adapt, to be honest.
No, I don't think so either. You? No.
No, because ice skating and playing soccer are like completely different things.
That'd be crazy. Yeah. Yeah. The only one that I think, well, like we were saying before, like another sport or two. Some other guys for sure could too.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Because there's people who are just natural athletes, man.
Crazy, huh?
Yeah, it's crazy, man. So
I
what does it
wonder
look
how
like?
those guys are gonna go crazy. What would you say?
What does it look like? What does it look like? What does it look like? Oh, nice. Yeah. So are you still good to are you still good to go or do you have to get going or what time is it?
It's 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock? So what do you
Yeah.
think?
How long have we? Minutes.
Yeah, man. It's a good.
Um, I heard that.
Yeah. So
What time is it?
uh it's about 10 o'clock at the moment.
was last
So
time
you
I
wanna
was.
so do you want to wrap it up for today?
Yeah, and then you want to do in the next couple of days or 2 days or whenever you're
We
free
can.
or whenever.
We can on Monday. I'm free on Monday.
Okay, let's do Monday then.
Sounds good, man. So, if we want to wrap it up, do you want to say anything about if people are interested in getting into a plant-based diet, how to get started, and how to get information about it, and what are some of the benefits? So, if you have anything to say to the listeners, what would be something to kind of encourage people to become healthier, or if you have anything to say before we wrap it up, man?
Sure. When you first start, if you want to try and start out like that, don't just quit eating meat cold turkey like that. At least switch over to like the meatless stuff where it's like fake meat, but it better, you know what I mean? Or it tastes similar to it, but at least once you get past that, then you can start weaning off the fake meat and then go to don't just take steps and stuff and in the right directions, and because most people will do things too drastic and then they can't stick to it, and a lot of people it's tough, man. So it's totally understandable, but if you take steps it's a lot easier. And then what was the other thing you said?
Or like, how do you what
Oh
kind
yeah,
of information, where to get information about how to get
you can
started
watch
in a
a good one that'll give you a bunch of information and put it in perspective big time for you would be watching the documentary The Game Changers. It's on Netflix, and then that gives you a lot. Started doing some research on Dr. Sebi and watching some of his videos, so you kind of like kind of how plants benefit. Because you could tell somebody really process some of it and have it make sense. Not you just tell them. A lot of people won't even listen. So
Yeah,
I would
exactly.
say
I mean,
that. And then if
yeah, it's like for
go ahead.
people who like starting out to like people are starting to work out. They'll work out for like a week with intense training, and then they'll burn out within that week, and then they'll stop working out for like 2 months, and then they'll go like, oh, I need to lose weight. Boom, boom, boom. I'll work out for a week, and then they'll stop, and then that's not healthy as well. And I think people take like to the extreme. And then I was reading about some of the herbs and the things that we were talking about earlier. I mean, they're just supplements, so you should have like your main diet, and then uh, add a little bit of these extra herbs or extra plants into your diet as addition to what you're already eating. I think a lot of people don't understand what the definition of like a supplement is. It the
Yeah,
supplement
no, that's
doesn't
true.
it doesn't mean that the supplement is your main diet. It's to contribute to what you're already eating when you start eating healthier.
It's like a boost,
Yeah, exactly, like a booster, right?
or a little foundation for you, so make sure you're getting everything you need.
Yeah, so I think like people are getting like into the habit of eating a little bit healthier.
Yeah, they are. It's becoming more and more available. There's coronavirus. It's probably going to mess people up with a lot of things.
Yeah, it's probably got to put them back, especially like
Or yeah, that's what I
maybe.
was saying. I was telling my mom, I was like, it's either going to be like for me, it's like a time where it's like, dude, you stay healthy and you keep healthy, and it's a reminder. Other people aren't going to really think of their health or anything, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Most people
I
won't.
saw. I think you put on your Facebook, or there was on your Facebook feed. You commented on a some kind of post, and the post was like the comment was, this should be a time of where people should take care of their health, or really look inside themselves how to uh, take care of their immunity system, or their immunity at this point.
Yeah, because it doesn't make sense. Everybody's all worried about getting this and that. That's the problem. Everybody wants a quick fix instead of putting in the time. Or you're down to kill yourself by going to work every day and then go to the gym every day after, and then be tired doing that when you could be eating better and feel so much better. Not even have to go to the gym and not be all stressed out because you're in shape because you're eating good. There's just so many ways around things. You know what I mean? But people make it
You
all complicated because they're not thinking of that.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting thing that I think in the U.S. culture, it's more like you want to you we know how to fix the problem if we have a problem, but we don't take or the U.S. doesn't take enough measures to prevent it. I think the culture is not a preventative culture, but more of a
But
like a
we don't
curing
even fix
culture.
it though. We don't even fix it though because they never fix anything. Or they fix it, I guess. Like surgeries and stuff, that's different. I'm saying, but like cancers and stuff like they always come back. Never really like treat somebody and then they're cured. You never really ever have ever heard that.
No, I think it's always kind of like a not completely cured, but at least they don't have to have that type of cancer, right? I think that's
They just subside it so then it comes back later. That's why they give you medication. It just covers up the stuff and but it never really goes away, so then it comes back later. Makes sense.
that makes sense.
Designed to do. That's what's crazy. That's what medication's designed to do. It knows to tell your senses and this and that and how to act. So it's crazy. I watched something on how they make pharmaceutical drugs and all that. And it was tripping me out because it's like, dude, that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense that it tries to like antibiotics or medications, they kind of tell your body that okay, now your body is feeling better. Uh it will kind of get rid of what you're feeling now at the moment, but I think it doesn't cure like the underlying problem of why you were sick in the first place.
Right. It's just like you get rid of it and keep moving. And then it comes back later. And then the next time you get sick, maybe it's worse because it was still there. You never really.
Yeah, exactly. You just kind of cured the symptoms or kind of took the edge off, and then like you didn't really cure
Well,
what was the actual problem.
they made, were saying most people getting ready for winter and eating good food and stuff, they party and eat like shit during fucking summer. So then when winter comes around, they get sick. So true. That's why everybody gets sick during winter, dude.
That makes a good that's a
I
good
don't.
point. That's a good point.
I
That
don't
makes
really.
sense.
I don't really ever get. Doesn't that make sense? So it's like summer and warm and fucking. I mean? You don't really get sick in summer. It's more when it gets cold and goes down and all that. So it's like the perfect time for that shit to come out.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, because your body starts slowing down, your metabolism slows down, your immunity starts to slow down, and you're indoors most of the time, especially in like colder environments, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense because like yeah, because here like a lot of people get sick in the winter, and which makes sense because there's not a lot of summer here, so you get maybe 1 month of good weather. So of course people are going to go out to the beer gardens, people are going to be out and not really prepare for the winter because they want to enjoy it. I mean, that also makes sense, you know.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, because people want to enjoy enjoy that short amount of period that you're going to have that really consistent hot weather. I don't
Yeah,
know. I
especially if
think
you're gonna have winter again.
yeah, exactly. And you know, and when especially when the winters are kind of well, this winter's been kind of mild, but when historically winters are kind of harsh, you know, people want to enjoy whatever they can before the winter.
Yeah, that works pretty much everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. And but it does make sense that where like people don't really think about the winter because they're too busy having fun and enjoying the life, you know, in the summer. That makes sense. I mean,
Yeah, they're just another season or like summer, but they're not really thinking about it, you know.
Yeah, which is strange because especially in like a place like California where there's seasons, but the temperature drops are not as drastic as like other parts where they actually get like four true seasons, you know. But still, I mean, you know, when like you would think even here, you would think like people would like think like, okay, so we have like 1 month, and then towards the end of the summer we should start getting ready for school and ready for the winter months. But no, we never learn from that cycle, even though every year is kind of in a you know has similar results, right? I mean, there's always going to be a spring, summer, fall, and winter. You know, I don't know. It's
That's what
interesting.
yeah, no, that's why you kind of gotta just live the same. Like some people are all over the place and they're different. You just gotta like accept it and kind of just live the same lifestyle, dude. Like if you're gonna like for me, dogs, so I'll walk them twice a day, do whatever I can in between, work out every day, eat good. I'm cool with that, you know. Then I'll add a lady in the future. So
That's
well, dude, I don't care about all that other shit, anyways.
Yeah. I mean, I think that the key is to keep it simple, and then you'll find out like that you're, you know, I think you're happier when you start to like kind of cut all that extra fat in your life, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, for sure. It's
uh,
like dead weight.
yeah, exactly. And then once that dead weight gets off your shoulders, you feel like much better.
Times better. It's insane.
Yeah, I know. It's like for me, man, when I finally like started living the way that I like to live, and that I live my life the way I want to live, and not how other people expect me to live or whatever. And then just growing, and then oh, it was like this dead weight, like a dead fucking water buffalo on my back, just lifted, and I feel like completely better. I think that has a lot to do with it too. That people are so stressed, man.
Dude, big time. That's probably the main
Yeah.
issue. That's probably why people act like the way they do. They're probably just stressed out all the time.
And I think that's why people are so like unhealthy too all the time, because you're stressed, you have to be somewhere all the time, you have to go, you know, you have to rush. It's like a big rat race. You just pick up quick food here and there, and you don't have time to really take care of your body. And even if you do, you don't care of your body like 100%. And then it's just like then your body just breaks down, man. It has to. That's what I believe.
Yeah, no. It's just happens, natural process.
Yeah, exactly. And then on top of that, you're mentally stressed, mentally, you know, heightened, and it must be really, really tough to kind of balance yourself out.
To counteract stuff and be clean inside so then you can think clear, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the clearer you can think, the clearer you'll be able to make decisions for yourself, man.
100%.
Yeah, for sure, man. So, all right, man. So it's
Hour and
over
30
there.
minutes almost.
Yeah, man, that sounds good. That's a good podcast because I think the more we talk, the better it is. The more information gets out. But unfortunately, it's kind of past the quiet time, and the quiet time. We have quiet time here in Czech Republic. You have to be kind of quiet around after 10 p.m.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah. So I think for today, well, it was pretty good, man. It was a good way to talk about, you know, health, getting people healthy, how it looks like for the last 30 years in the US, you know, the focus of health hasn't really changed. People are really skeptical about certain things, especially if you're living your life. But as you said, I think a good way to kind of live your life is, keep it simple, take care of your body, and that way that you'll be able to be stress free or a little bit stress less, and just clear it, and you have a clear conscience. And once you have that, I think it's a pretty good way to live your life, man.
I agree with you, man. Then you can live a good life and make good decisions.
Yeah, exactly. Especially to keep yourself safe, don't put yourself into
Of course.
unnecessary situations. All right, man. So thanks for coming on the show. And I think we'll wrap it up for today, man.
Sounds good.
Yeah, we'll talk on Monday. Oh, we'll talk about I think we'll talk about, I know what we'll talk about. We'll talk about soccer on that time. What do you think?
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Sounds good, man. Especially with the EPL being postponed, man.
Yeah, you're upset?
A little bit, because there's no football to watch on the telly, man.
What are you supposed to watch now?
I don't know, Netflix or YouTube videos.
Stuck with that.
Yeah, or I read my books, man. I've been reading, I've been chilling and drinking tea, dude.
Yeah, you're solid then. You're set.
Yeah, I'm pretty set for the next month. Oh, but no football, man. That's okay. No problem.
Champions League though.
Yeah, the Champions League is so exciting at the moment, man.
It's nice, man. I know.
Yeah, Champions League is. I know it repeats every year, but at this stage of the Champions League, it gets so intriguing. It's so nice to kind of watch it and see how the games play out, especially when there's the home and away matches, man.
I know. Well, and then they were just starting to get better too. So
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
then
more exciting, and yeah, then it stops, man. Well, we'll just have to see how it plays out, and we'll see how it will continue. Yeah, that would be more interesting. What's going to happen after the postponement? How the teams will respond to such a long break. The Champions League will be. I would look forward to the Champions League, man.
That's true. That's actually, yeah, because that's such a long break.
I wonder how the teams will respond.
I don't know. That's going to be a good question.
It's gonna be interesting, and and also it doesn't mean that the coronavirus will go away. So maybe when they lift the postponement, somebody will have signs of it, and what? Then they're gonna have to be on quarantine. It's gonna be interesting after these 2 or 3 weeks what they're gonna do and with how they're gonna play. It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, that sucks, dude. I hope sports come back soon.
Yeah, me too. I hope sports come back too. All sports. Yeah, at least soccer, but all sports, man, it would be nice because,
Yeah, there's nothing.
Yeah, nothing. I'd rather watch sports. Sports are cool. They're good.
Yeah, of course.
So, all right, man.
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? We'll see what happens.
We'll talk to you Monday, though.
Yeah, we'll talk on Monday. It'll be good.
All right, brother.
All right, man. So let's wrap this up. So, thank you all for watching or listening. For those of you that are listening to us on YouTube, yeah, I think at the moment everybody should stay safe, practice good hygiene, and we'll wait and see what's gonna happen after the whole postponement and travel bans and all these things. I think it'll be interesting to see what will happen in the future. I hope everybody stays safe, and we'll catch you on the next episode of the First Division podcast. We'll see you again, and we'll have a great conversation on Monday. And thanks for coming and doing this with me, man. Coming on this journey.
Of course, man. Enjoy it.
Sounds good. So enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we will talk on Monday, man.
Sounds good. All right, man.
All right, man. Let's see. Yeah, I like that photo you sent me.
Did you end it?
I ended it. I'll end it now. So I have got two good photos of chilling dogs, man. And I'll end it right now. See you later. See you all on Monday. Peace.
Bye-bye.